Recently, I've been thinking about the idea, and it's a hard one because I feel like it kind of makes sense and it kind of doesn't. But I wanted to share it, and I wanted to give you my thoughts so we could chat about it below, or what have you. The idea of creating versus making. I've been thinking a lot about that while constructing this office, as the light fluctuates behind me. Up until this point, basically making YouTube videos, I create them and I make them in like a locked off section of a room, be it your bedroom or your spare bedroom, which is where I started. We move into a new office, and first thing I do is I say, okay, where's my setup gonna go? Where's my filming setup gonna go? And I've done that for 5 years until this build specifically. Now I'm gonna get into this build a little bit later. It's one of the reasons I've not been able to make very many videos. It was a way bigger undertaking than I expected. It's not just this rectangle of an office that we built, more of a P actually, if you looked at a bird's eye view. We made a coffee shop, a bakery, a pirate retail store, there's a tattoo studio, it's a whole thing. And I'll get there, and I'm very excited to share it all with you. But I would walk into a space, figure out where the light was, and say, okay, let's build it there. And I got kind of tired of having the typical like YouTube setup where every single video was shot in the same place at the same spot. It probably bothered me more than it bothered anybody. Kirk was always saying, like, you're the only one who cares about this. Like, that's just like, people just want to hear from you. And he's right, and I do agree, because I feel the same about other creators. If I don't see my friends making videos, I just want to know where they are and where they're up to and like what's going on, how are you doing, and give me something. I don't care if it's at your desk or if you're sitting on the front steps of your house or you're in your car. Like, it just doesn't matter to me. Just make something, put something into the world. So this was the first office where we just came in. I just said, no, I'm gonna make this a space where we enjoy making things. And I wanna create things out in the world. There will be things created in here. I'm doing that right now, obviously, but I wanna use the mindset of like, let's create and then come back to our cool space that's inspiring to make the things, to assemble those things that we just created. So that's kind of been my thinking lately, which has made me make less videos. Apart the other things like, my kid's getting sick, just lost my dog, which sucks super bad. Building a studio, but at the same time, like renovating an entire building, becoming like a landlord. There's just like a whole lot of things. I've got some trips planned coming up. Headed to Europe in a couple of weeks, shooting some fun things. Been shooting a ton of film. I've got videos coming on that. I've got some live shows to shoot coming up soon. Kirk and I are headed to the States. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, yeah, sick, let's go. And then stepping back and realizing, oh, this is a lot of work. I still have to make videos, and it's less of I have to make, I want to make videos. By the way, if you like this dramatic music, for example, Kirk, run it back, change the track. So this was the first office where we just came in. I just said, no, I'm gonna make this a space where we enjoy making things. And I wanna create things out in the world. It just doesn't hit the same. It's weird, right? So I feel we are very good at choosing the right emotional tracks that tug at said heartstrings. I used to think I was like the best at it. I think, Kirk, you might even be better at it now. This video is sponsored by Artlist. And you know what? It's okay to have a video sponsored by a company, because it is partners like Artlist that enable me to make this community. This is how I'm able to support myself, my family, Kirk, his family, the community that I'm trying to build here, and continue to make content that I hope moves people. Artlist helps me do that, both figuratively and literally, because they make music that helps me create the tone that I want felt when my audience watches my videos. They have an insane library with an ungodly amount of songs that you'll never get through. The sound effects, in my opinion, are bar none. They are of the highest quality, and it makes our sound design obviously sound great, but really fun to create, because you're not pulling your hair out trying to find what a metallic sheen would sound like. And then you can pick the artist that makes those sounds and get all of the sounds. So the search, the platform, the quality, the abundance, it's all there. So if you use my link below, you can get 2 months free, get hooked up, lots of different plans to choose from, be that you're using this on social media or commercial, whatever plan that you need, they have something crafted for you so you get exactly what you need and nothing that you don't. And a sincere thank you to Artlist for sponsoring this channel. Not just these videos, but this channel, and believing in me to represent your brand. I very much appreciate it, and I hope you guys check them out. But I think I've always struggled as a YouTuber with not knowing where to film because I've always felt bad if I film the same things in the same places. That's, I think, part of being a creator and trying to please everybody. One of the things you learn pretty early on is that you can't please everybody. And if you spend your entire career or your entire day or you're all consumed by just trying to make or create or do or be where people want, what people want, make things you think they want, you'll never end up being truly happy. So with this particular space, I tried to embody all the lessons I've learned over the 5 years, which was make a space that just you feel good to come to. The end. There's no YouTube angle, there's no corner where you're gonna set up the camera. It's just make a spot that you're stoked to come to with people that you enjoy making videos with, like Kirk. Making this network is what I've been focused on over the past year. It reminds me of something my friend David Kennedy said. He owns James Coffee. We were talking about a vegetable garden, of all things. He's big into growing food and produce and stuff like that. And long story short, he was just basically saying, and it all summed up to, if you set yourself up for success, like you'll have fun and it'll work. But if you don't think about all the things you need to do ahead of time, animals are gonna get in, they're gonna rip apart your garden, and all that hard work is gonna be wasted, and you'll be frustrated and you won't wanna do it, and it'll just ruin the whole thing and you just won't have a good experience. So set yourself up for success and then you'll have a good time. It's very broad, but like I kind of took that with this entire office in mind, this entire project in mind, this entire year in mind, right down to how I want to make videos. I want to make less videos because I want the ones that I make to be impactful. And it doesn't need to be a cinematic masterpiece to be impactful. These words that I'm saying to you right now could be as impactful as it needs to be. And if the Why We Create video taught me anything, it was exactly that. That you never know who's watching. People can easily just become numbers in statistics and graphs. You log into a back end of YouTube and you fail to remember that if people are real anymore. It's just a number out of 10. It's just a 1 of 10, a 9 of 10, an 8 of 10. You forget that people are actually watching, taking your advice. There's real souls out there. I think over this 5 years, I've been doing this for 5 years. Is it more than 5 years now? Have I been doing it 6 years and you've been doing it with me 5 years? 6 years, almost. Wow. It's a lot of videos, it's a lot of places, there's a lot of ideas, and this never gets old though. Like Chris Ramsey and I talked about this a lot. Like you should always have that butterfly kind of nervous feeling when you hit upload, when you're just like, I'm excited, like I hope people like it. And if you still have that inside, that's a good sign. It just means you care and you're still making things that you hope move people. And I still have that to this day, and I still enjoy sitting here talking to the camera. It's the best job I've ever had. And quite frankly, you'll have to pry me away from my camera before I stop doing this. All right, so what did we learn today? We learned a whole lot of random thoughts in Pete's mind. I needed to get them out. It's been a week, okay? It's been a very difficult week, and I wanted to just get on camera and almost therapeutically kind of share my thoughts on how I feel and just be present, and so that you can see that I'm here and I still love what I do and I'm not going anywhere, and I've got, as cliche as it sounds, lots of different plans, but I'm not gonna not tell you them. I've been shooting a lot of 35mm film. I wanna talk about that. I got a massive Canon lens I gotta show you. The Chevy is done. The weather's getting nice. I wanna do a big office tour, but explain this whole community we've created, because it's very exciting and it's more than just what's in this immediate room. Life is good. Thanks for being here. See you in the next video. See this axe? Look at this, dude. Liam Hoffman. He won Forged in Fire. Master blacksmith. Wish I could be called a master. Like, look at this thing. He made me this. This is the first and last axe you'll ever need to go survive in the woods. Pete's Pirate Life axes? I mean, nothing looks better on a wall, but this thing, do work. Also, we can smash that window and get out of here if something catches on fire. And in the sunlight,